Hello, moms and dads. Happy Monday. I'm Sarah Bridges, and I have some self care tips for you about boundaries today. But before we start, please subscribe and share with any parents who need extra tender love and care during this awful pandemic. Okay, boundaries. I found some great things about boundaries by Dr. Nicole LaPera. She's on Instagram and Facebook. She's an author of a book that I don't remember what it's called, but she's the holistic psychologist. If you go on Facebook and Instagram, you'll find her work. She does a lot of reparenting work and is just spot on with mental health challenges and healthy relationships. Okay, boundaries. This is what Dr. LaPera says. Many of us don't have or understand boundaries because we were not modeled clear boundaries by parents, or our boundaries were constantly violated. So Brene Brown once worded the boundaries like this: what's okay and what's not okay. That might look different for everyone. Well, it will look different for everyone. And I know I'm an amateur in setting boundaries, and it is scary and hard, and sometimes you even feel guilty for standing up for yourself, even if it's a small thing. And those are normal feelings, and it just takes practice, and so keep at it. I'm going to share different types of boundaries with you from Dr. LaPera. Number 1, physical boundaries. So an example of that is, I had a tough week. I need some time to myself. Simple. An emotional boundary is another type of boundary. And an example of that is, this isn't a good time to talk about that. There's resource boundaries. Resource your time and energy. You can be like, yeah, I'll come to your house, but I can only stay an hour. Material boundaries is, I don't feel comfortable with anyone driving my car. So those are the different types of boundaries: physical, emotional, resources, and material. Resource, not resources, but resource as in energy. Okay, so this is what Dr. LaPera says. LaPera. When setting boundaries, it's normal to feel afraid, guilty, or confused, even if you have the right to set them. We all have the right to stand up for ourselves, to prioritize our needs. Sometimes we feel feelings of guilt, or we're scared. And she says that those feelings of guilt and fear come from codependency. And with practice, we can evolve to understand boundaries as a part of our self-worth. And I've realized, the stronger my self-worth has gotten, the more I'm able to stand up for myself and say, actually, no, I cannot. And I'm practicing not giving into the urge to explain myself when I set a boundary, because usually there's no explanation needed unless you want to. I know there's a mom that I absolutely admire. She's my friend in Kansas, and one time we had a play date set up, and the day before, maybe it was the morning of, she said, Sarah, I don't have the capacity right now. I'm feeling very anxious, so I'm not coming over. And I was like, oh, I think that's so great that she did that and stood up for herself. And then there's examples of when you set a boundary and someone doesn't react very nicely, or they get offended, and that's okay. That's out of our control how people react when we set boundaries. But the important thing is that you're taking care of yourself. Okay, another thing that Dr. LaPera says is boundaries are our own personal limits. They allow us to have space between us and another, and are the foundation of healthy relationships. Emotionally healthy people set boundaries. These healthy limits don't make you mean or rude, and it takes practice. I hope you think about your needs and practice this week setting boundaries. If you don't, you will feel resentful and probably get a stomach ache or a headache because you're not being true to yourself, and you keep saying yes when you really inside wanted to say no. I think Brene Brown says, make sure you give people an authentic yes instead of like grumbling, oh, I don't want to do it, I don't want to take her food, or I don't want to blah blah blah, even though I said I would. So make sure you're serious when you say yes, because if you're not, that's on you for feeling resentful. You said yes. Okay, so think about that, and please comment below on what boundary you're going to set. And during the holidays, this is a good thing. Sorry, parents, I can't fly home for Christmas because of COVID. Or no, you can't come into my house unless you wear a mask. Or I'm going to spend the night at Auntie's house, or spend time with so-and-so on that day. And so those are little tricks, and I hope you have a lovely day. Please take care of yourselves, moms and dads. You're doing powerful and meaningful work, and it's so hard, and solidarity with all of you. Okay, bye.